We are inching closer to the 2020 NFL Draft, so let's take you through the latest mock drafts of where individuals are projecting the Giants to go with the number 4 overall pick. He's Paul Dottino. I'm Lance Medow. All right, Paul, let's start with probably the newest development, and that is ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr. is now going with Jeff Okudah, the cornerback out of Ohio State, 6'1", 200. His numbers don't necessarily jump off the page, but this past season, very aggressive and very active.
Well, there are a lot of people who believe that Okudah may be the best pure cover corner coming out of college in a few years. So it is not at all surprising that somebody would say he could be a top 5 draft choice. However, being connected to the Giants, that's not something we have seen a lot of to this point, especially considering the Giants have a lot of young cornerbacks in their secondary.
Well, if they want to go in the direction of a lockdown guy on one side of the field, Jeff Okudah would be the right player for that. Isaiah Simmons, the linebacker out of Clemson, is another player being projected at number 4 by ESPN's Todd McShay, 6'4", 230. And this is a player, Paul, that fills up the stat sheet from every which way.
Versatility off the charts. He could really do everything for you. He'll be a 3-down player. Again, a guy who has been projected to be a potential top 5 by a lot of folks. Some people have said Giants in the past, but I still think right now we're trying to figure out what it is that Patrick Graham, the new defensive coordinator, is going to want to do, and that's going to be a big part of whether or not they consider Simmons.
And Simmons also could play safety on the secondary side as well. He's extremely versatile. Jedrick Wills Jr., as we go to the offensive line, he's out of Alabama, 6'5", 320. Bucky Brooks of NFL.com, Matt Miller of Bleacher Report are selecting him with the number 4 overall pick. And this is a player who really has been a staple for the Crimson Tide over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he is a big, powerful offensive lineman. A tackle is obviously something that people are pegging for the Giants because they would like to upgrade their offensive line, at least by most accounts. I will say this, with the connection that Nick Saban of Alabama has to Joe Judge, the Giants' new head coach, you know there's going to be a lot of research there. And they will know everything there is to know about that prospect. Whether it's good or whether it's something that causes them to question, they will do their research on him probably more thoroughly than most other players or teams will.
It pays to have relationships in the National Football League. 29 career starts, including 28 straight to end his career. Let's stay with the offensive line. Let's go to Louisville now. Mekhi Becton, 6'7", 369. Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network projecting him to go to the Giants at number 4, and he is a mauler on the right side.
Yeah, he is a big guy who, you want to think about foot speed when you get to the NFL because the edge rushers are going to be a little quicker than they are at the college level. The question will become, with his mammoth size, is he going to be able to have the proper footwork when he gets to the next level to be an elite player, to be considered that high in the draft? I don't know the answer to that. Scouts have a better eye than I do and more education, and they'll have to figure out if it translates. I think the Combine is going to tell you a lot about his physical athleticism.
First team All-ACC in 2019. And our 5th and final player, we're going to stick with the offensive line, Paul. And this is actually a new name being brought up for the New York Giants by former NFL running back Maurice Jones-Drew of NFL.com, Andrew Thomas out of Georgia, who has played both right tackle and left tackle during the course of his collegiate career.
Yeah, a versatile lineman, as you said, playing both sides. From the beginning of this whole college season, maybe even as midpoint as November, a lot of people had projected Thomas to be the first offensive tackle taken in this draft. Now, whether or not that turns out to be true, I've heard some people say there could be 5 offensive tackles taken in the first round. It may be, which fruit do you like? Pears, apples, or oranges? I think a lot of people have different opinions on that, but he's a sound, big player who's played at a terrific program and done a good job.
Well, and based on the early projections, it looks like many teams could help themselves by building up the trenches at the offensive line position. So those are the latest mock drafts connected to the New York Giants. For Paul Dottino, I'm Lance Medow. Stay locked to Giants.com for all the latest.
Hey Giants fans, Saquon Barkley here. You want to see more videos? Subscribe below.